welcome to the morning exhale. I'm Stephanie Gaines-Bryant. Let's start exhaling this morning with working with the breath. So let's take one hand. We're going to put one hand on your belly. The other hand goes below. And let's just take a couple of breaths in and out. Just easy breaths in and out. Now let's take one hand, bring one hand to the chest, the other hand on the belly. Continue breathing in and out. Noticing how the chest rises and falls as you breathe. Now let's take your hands, bring your hands to your rib cage, and just easy breaths in and out. Bring your hands to your knees now with your palms up. On an inhale, let's open. Exhale, closed. Inhale, open. Exhale, closed. Inhale, open. Exhale, closed. Now as we continue blending breath and movement, let's bring your hands to the floor and we're going to press your right hand into the floor. Inhale your left arm up and overhead. Then exhale, release. Let's do the other side. Lifting up and overhead. Then exhale, release. Now let's just lift and lower at your own pace. The next time your right arm is lifted, hold it there. Take your right hand, bring it to your left knee. Look over your left shoulder. Exhale, untwist, sweep the arm up, release it down. Let's do the other side, lifting up and overhead. Take your left hand, bring it to your right knee. Look over your shoulder. Exhale, untwist, sweep the arm up, release it down. Let's inhale both arms up, lengthen up, fold forward, bring your hands down to wherever's comfortable for you, and just let your head relax. Breathe into your lower back. Inhale, sitting up. Very good. Let's stretch your legs out this morning. I've been sitting on top of a blanket. I'm going to move that blanket to the side. Stretch your legs out. Bring your hands behind you, pressing out with your heels. Point your toes. Heels, toes. Come back to heels. Lift up your right leg, circle your foot. Pause, circle in the other direction. Now let's take your right leg. We're going to bring that leg across the left leg. Lengthen up, hinging from the hips. Fold forward, touching your shins, ankles, or toes. Again, letting your head relax. Inhale, sitting up, bringing your hands behind you once more. Uncross. This time you're lifting up your left leg. Circle your foot. Pause. Circle in the other direction. Now let's take that left leg, bring it across the right leg, lengthen up, fold forward, bringing your hands down to your shins, ankles, or toes. Inhale, sitting up, your hands are behind you once more. Uncross. Now let's bring the soles of your feet to the mat and let's lower your knees to the left. Come back to center, lower to the right. Come back to center, lower down to the left, center, then to the right, and center. Now we're going to bring your forearms down to the mat, and I want you to take your right ankle, bring it across your left knee, and then we're going to come all the way down to your back. Let's lift up your left foot, and we're going to straighten out your leg, bend, straighten, bend, straighten, bend, and straighten. Now let's have your left hand grabbing onto your right foot. The other hand touches your knee, and we're just going to move from side to side. Very good. Bring that ankle across your knee, and then we're going to release that left foot down to the mat, uncross, and let's cross over to the other side. We're lifting up your right foot, and let's straighten, bend, straighten, bend, straighten, and bend. The next time your leg is straight, we're taking your left hand, you're holding on to your knee, the right hand holds on to your foot, and we're just moving side to side. Nice hip stretch. Now let's straighten out that left leg, pressing your heels to the ceiling. Reach your fingers towards your big toes for dead bug. Breathe. Now let's bring the soles of your feet down to the floor. I'm going to slide a little bit forward on my mat. Arms are down by your side. You can step your heels in about an inch or so. Your arms are close in. On an inhale, you're going to scoop up your hips. Don't just lift the hips, scooping up the hips. Exhale, release your hips down. Inhale, scoop up the hips. Exhale, release your hips down. Inhale, scoop up your hips. Exhale, release your hips down. Let's add some arms. As you lift your hips, lifting your arms up and overhead. Exhale, release your arms, release your hips. Inhale, lifting up your arms, lift up your hips. Exhale, release your arms, release your hips. Once more, inhale, lifting up your arms, lift up your hips. Exhale, release your arms, release your hips. Let's stretch both legs out. We're going to lift your right arm up and overhead, rolling over onto your right side. Pressing your palm into the mat, we're going to come up onto your forearm, draw your knees into your chest. Let's take your top hand, grip your hip, and we're just going to lift and lower your top knee. These are clamshells. Very good. Let's take that top arm, lift it up and overhead. Now let's drop that arm down and circle around. Pause, circle in the other direction. Very good. And release. Now we're going to roll over onto the other side, coming onto your forearm. Knees are drawn in towards your chest. Use your hand to grip your hip. We're getting ready for clamshells. We're just lifting and lowering your knee. Strengthening your thighs this morning. Then release. Now let's bring that arm up and overhead. Let's drop it down and circle around. Pause. Circle in the other direction. Very good. And release. Now we're going to use your blocks this morning. If you have your blocks available, press into your blocks. We're going to help or allow the blocks to help you to come up into a table pose position. So we're bringing one block to one edge of the mat. The other block comes to the other edge. Then let's stretch your right leg out behind you. And we're just going to move forward and back, bringing some stretch to your calf, to your toes, to your arch. Now let's lift up that leg and we're going to bend into your knee and bring your foot in between the blocks. Let's drop your left knee back maybe an inch or so, and we're going to do seesaws. Moving the knee forward. On the exhale, inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Now let's bring your knee to a neutral position and sweep your arms all the way up to V position. Exhale, release your hands down to the blocks. Curl your back toes under, lifting up your knee. Let's step your left foot up. Inhale, lifting all the way up. Palms together. Exhale, down to your heart center. Soften your knees. We're bringing your hands back down to the blocks. We're stepping your right foot back, and then we're lowering your knee down. Uncurl your toes. Inhale, lift your arms all the way up to V position. Exhale, release your hands down to the blocks. Curl your back toes under. Inhale, lifting up your knee. Exhale, step that back foot up. Inhale, lifting all the way up. Palms together. Exhale, down to your heart center. Very good. Let's stand with your feet hip width apart, and let's begin by rolling your shoulders forward, up, back, and down. Stretch your arms out. Inhale all the way up. Interlace your fingers. Press your index fingers to the ceiling. Relax your shoulders. Let's tip over to the left. Come back to center. Tipping to the right. Come back to center. Separate your palms, relax your shoulders, coming into mountain pose. Now let's press back your thumbs, a nice back bend. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, let's bend your knees, coming into chair position. Then bring your palms to your shins, straighten out your legs, your back is flat, coming into Ardha Uttanasana. Now let's soften your knees, coming all the way down into Ragdoll. Stretch your arms out. Inhale all the way up. Palms together. Exhale, down to your heart center. Let's separate your feet this morning. We're coming into a wider stance. Let's begin by pivoting your foot forward. We're bending into your knee, and let's move that left big toe. Let's bring that left big toe in just about an inch. Now let's inhale your arms up to V position for warrior one. Breathe. Bring your fingertips together. We're opening your arms up for side warrior pose. Straighten out your front leg, reach your fingers forward, rotate your arms for triangle. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, bend into your front knee, drop your back arm down. Lift your top arm up for reverse warrior. Come back to side warrior pose. Bring your forearm down just above your knee. Lift your back arm up and overhead. Now let's bring your bottom arm parallel. Turn your torso over. Lift your arms up to V position. Let's straighten out that front leg. Pivot forward. Release your arms down. Let's move to the other side. Bending into your knee, and we're going to bring your right toe in just about an inch. Make sure your knee is just over your ankle. Sweep your arms up to V position. Bring your fingertips together. We're going to open up your arms for side warrior. Unbend your front knee, reach your fingers forward, rotate your arms for triangle. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, bend into your front knee, drop your back arm down. Lift your top arm up for reverse warrior. Come back to side warrior pose. Bring your forearm down just above your knee. Lift your back arm up and overhead. Bring your bottom arm parallel. Now let's turn your torso over. We're going to bring your hands back down to the block. I'm going to slide a little bit forward. Bring your hands back down to the blocks. And then we're going to lower your right knee down to the block. Uncurl your toes. Let's straighten out your left leg. We're sliding the blocks back. Straighten out your front leg. And then we're going to relax your abdomen on top of your thigh. Breathe. The ball of your foot is down. And don't worry about it if you have a little bend in your knee. Now let's lift up your toes, coming onto your heel. Step your foot down, bend into your knee, slide your blocks forward. Use your hands to press into your knee, and then we're going to sweep those arms up to V position. This time, I want you to interlace your fingers, bring your hands to the back of your head, your elbows are stretched out to the side. Let's twist to the left, come back to center, twisting to the right. Come back to center. Let's inhale those arms closed. Exhale, open. Release your hands back down to the blocks, and we're going to slide that left foot back. Let's stretch your right leg out behind you. Then inhale, bending into your knee. Let's bring your foot in between your blocks. Let's drop back that left knee an inch or so, and then we're going to straighten out your right leg. Slide the blocks back, folding your abdomen onto your thigh. Lift up your toes, coming onto your heel. Breathe. Now let's step your foot down, bend into your knee, slide the blocks forward. Use your hands to come up onto your knee, sweep your arms all the way up to V position. Then we're going to bring your hands to the back of your head, interlace your fingers, stretch your elbows out to the side. Let's twist to the left, then back to center. Twist to the right. Come back to center. Release your hands down. We're going to slide that foot back. Bring your blocks to the side. Bring your hands to the mat for table pose. Then we're going to push back into child's pose. You can bring your big toes together. Just stretch those arms out in front of you. Breathe. Let's come back up to table pose. I want you to bring your knees hip width apart again. So if you had your knees wide separated, just bring your knees to where your hip and your knee are in the same line. And then I want you to drop your knees back an inch or so and sink your hips, coming into upward dog. Press into your knees, pushing back into child's pose. Inhale, moving forward into upward dog. Exhale, pressing back into child's pose. Inhale, moving forward into upward dog. Let's do that one more time. Exhale, pressing back into child's pose. Inhale, moving forward into upward dog. Now let's lower down to the mat. Your palms are next to your chest. Your elbows are hugged in. Now let's bring your forearms down to the mat for Sphinx pose. You're sitting up in this baby back bend. Your palms are separated. Your forearms are on the mat. And slightly tilt your chin towards your throat. Let's bring your palms next to your chest. Your elbows are hugged in. Press into your palms, lifting up into cobra. Then release. Let your body melt down onto the mat. We're going to stretch your elbows out to the side. Bring one palm on top of the other. You can bring your forearm or your chin down. Bend your knees and just windshield wiper right and left. Release your legs back down to the mat. Let's bring your palms next to your chest once more. Press into your palms, lifting all the way up, back to upward dog. Press into your knees, pushing back into child's pose. Now let's come back into table pose. You can lower your left hip down to the mat, swing around. We're coming back into a seated position. Let's cross your ankles, coming into Sukhasana. Let's take your right hand, bring it all the way over to your left ear. Slight pressure comes to the side of your head. Then gently lower your chin towards your armpit. Inhale your head up. Release your hand down. Bring your head back to center. Let's do the other side, lifting up and overhead. Slight pressure comes to the side of your head. Gently lower your chin towards your armpit. Inhale your head up. Release your hand down. Bring your head back to center. Let's lift up your left hand, and we're folding in the inner three fingers, and we're keeping your thumb and your pinky out. So you're going to take that thumb, press it into your left nostril, exhale out of the right nostril. Inhale. Switch. We're doing Nadi Shodhana, single nostril breath. Exhale. Inhale. Switch. Exhale. Inhale. Switch. Exhale. Inhale. Switch once more. Exhale. Inhale. Switch. Bring your hand down to your knee. Now let's breathe out of both nostrils, noticing the difference in the breath. Let's close your eyes now and go inside. breathing in and out, noticing the breath as you breathe through both nostrils. Let's begin relaxing your body after the practice, releasing your toes, your arches, and your heels. Relaxing your sits bone against whatever surface you're at, relaxing the sits bones. Softening your shoulders, your arms. Notice the rise and fall of your chest as you breathe. Relax those muscles along the sides of your neck that tense up every day as you go about your day, the stress of work, the stress of family. Relaxing your neck and your shoulders. Softening your facial muscles, your cheeks, your eyelids. And just notice now, from the top of your head to the soles of your feet, coming into a state of relaxation. For the next few breaths, you have nothing to do, nowhere to go, but follow the wave of breath in and out of your body, following your breath. Whenever you're ready, begin bringing your awareness back into whatever room you're in. Bringing your awareness back to the room, and wiggle your fingers and your toes and coming back to wherever you are. Let's roll your shoulders forward, up, back, and down. Stretch your arms out. Inhale all the way up, palms together. Let's exhale with a sigh. Stretch your arms out. Inhale all the way up, palms together. Let's exhale with a sigh. May the light in me see the light in each one of you. Thanks for tuning in to the Morning Exhale. I'm Stephanie Gaines-Bryant. Have a remarkable day.